Hey, what's up and welcome back everyone to another Warzone 2 video. This video is very special because I think for the first time in a long time, you have a reason to be optimistic about the future of Warzone 2. Now, we have seen some massive changes in-game, but I think we've seen some more important changes out of game, more specifically with the development team. And frankly, I think someone got fired, or someone got replaced, or the reins got handed over, because there have been some key changes that will just light up your heart and actually make you optimistic for the future of Warzone 2. And we're going to be talking about all of them today. One thing I do want to shout out though is this is the last day. You get 10% off your creator design. So if you want to pick up your IceManIsaac Scuf controller, you got the paddles on the back so you can jump and bee-hop and move around the map faster, dolphin dive, the single fire digital tap trigger, or just the beautiful design. The thing for it just pops, man. 10%. Okay, this is the biggest sale of the year. They don't offer the 10% sale very often. This is the last day to do it. Check out the link in the pinned comment and the description if you want to pick up your very own. These are the two newest designs, the Series X and the PS5. These were designed in coordination with Corsair, and let me tell you, across the board, whether it's stick drift, reliability, and even just shipping and delivery times, it's a whole new breed of Scuf with the Corsair involvement, and I'm super proud to be partnered with them. 10% off. Today is the last day. But what we want to talk about is some changes that are happening across the game, because don't get me wrong, this has been an abysmal launch, okay? Whether it's been from launch, or more importantly, the Season 1.5 Reloaded update, which was just a kick in the, you know, like, how insulting was it for us to have these litany of problems, but we spent God knows how many development hours on the most budget Rocket League experience I've ever seen. Like, you couldn't jump, you couldn't pick up boost around the map, you couldn't fly your car, you couldn't even like go up the walls and wall ride. Like, it was a bad look for us to be still having issues with AI being incredibly powerful in strongholds, or weapons not being balanced, or dev errors, not to mention audio. But rants aside, let me talk about some things that are happening in game that I think are going to make you a lot more optimistic about the future of Warzone. So what we're first going to go through is we're going to go through some of these changes. Okay, we're going to go through the patch notes, and then we're going to go through kind of the more juicy stuff of what I think is happening behind the scenes and why you should be excited. Okay, so first and foremost, I think the change that you guys are going to be most excited about is individual loadout guns go from $5,000 to now only $2,500. Now, in obviously old days of Warzone 1, you could buy for $10,000, you could buy your entire loadout for you and your entire team, and everyone gets perks. But this at least makes it a little bit more accessible. You'll be able to get your gun, you know, in the early stages of the game a lot earlier. So I think that's a great change for the game, because a lot of people just like playing with their loadouts. Now, part of me says this might suck a little bit because everyone's going to be running around with an RPK and a Finnick. I kind of liked when people had to play with a ground loadout gun, you know, something that actually had recoil. With everyone having their own loadout, it's going to be a little bit more annoying, especially since the TTK is already pretty fast. But I think on the whole, people are going to enjoy this change. Okay, let's move on to some other things that are happening. But I want you to notice this, okay? Look at how frequent these tweets are coming out, and more importantly, look who's tweeting them out. It's Raven Software. In the beginning, we weren't seeing a whole bunch of conversation from Raven Software, but ever since the mid-season update happened and just a wave of negative interactions hit, we have seen a pivot like crazy, like Raven Software is back in charge. It says, hey, a minor Warzone 2 update has gone live with the following. The chance to encounter multiple circles has been reduced to 15% from 33%. So you guys know the split end zones where it would split into 3 or it would split into 2 and then it would combine back together. There was a 1/3 chance, and now there is a 1/6 chance, roughly, of that happening within the game. They've also fixed an issue that caused players unintentionally to lose a small amount of cash when equipping a loadout. We talked about that in a previous tip video. Now, this kind of should bring back the old days. If you guys remember, Raven Software used to be very transparent and very clear about, hey, these are the numbers, this is what we're changing. Like, Infinity Ward is so cryptic, and they never want to state exact numbers, and they want to be so mysterious, and we have no transparency as to what the hell is going on. Seems like Raven Software is back on track. Another one we got from Raven Software is, hey, the heavy chopper has been disabled in a battle royale while we investigate options to balance this vehicle for late game. So we may see something like we saw in Warzone 1, where they made it to where all air vehicles get disabled, or maybe their health goes down, or maybe their fuel consumption is increased in the late game. There are a lot of things that they could do to balance it, but this is what we need to see. This is like, for example, okay, what did Infinity Ward do whenever we had the game, and bomb drones would cause dev errors. You guys remember bomb drones and recon drones would cause dev errors, or you'd get locked in a wall and you couldn't move and you'd be frozen there in place. And that was an issue for a month before they finally like removed bomb drones. Maybe it was like 3 weeks or something. Raven Software now seems to be back in charge and is removing things until they are fixed. Kind of like Fortnite would vault something. And it's so nice to see. Once again, December 16th at 2:30, December 16th at 8:30. There was another one that they were tweeting out at like 2 a.m. or something. They were burning the midnight oil. Raven Software is back in charge. A change has been implemented that caused AI combatant difficulty to be increased across DMZ that was only intended for one specific area. If you guys have noticed, it seems like bots are a lot more powerful than they should be, or you're seeing these armored bots that are walking around in Battle Royale that shouldn't be in Battle Royale. They were like literal like Titan looking bots instead of, you know, the guys running around in like, you know, casual attire with AKs. There were people walking around in like riot gear across strongholds. They went ahead and they jumped in and they fixed that as well. And then this was a big one, okay? The number of buy stations has been doubled across all of Al-Mazrah. It's been one of the most annoying things. You couldn't buy UAVs. You couldn't regain to buy your teammates. It seemed like everyone was camping buy stations. Buy stations are now randomized and the amount of them is doubled. It seems a little bit weird in game right now where buy stations are doubled, but all the buy stations are right next to each other. So you're seeing like clumps of 2 buy stations across the map, but doesn't matter. At least it's doubled the amount and they'll probably start to refine that. They also made it to where the loadout drop happens in the 2nd circle instead of the 3rd circle. So now we're getting more loadout drops across the map, which is another incredible change. And then this one, you know, Infinity Ward tweeted out that they have deployed a fix overnight that has drastically decreased the number of crashes across all platforms. I'll say me personally, I had to go through and change a lot of settings, and prior to the mid-season update, I wasn't crashing at all. I'd maybe crash like once a day, which is still horrible for a AAA game, let's be honest. But the second that this mid-season update hit, I am crashing more than ever. The other night, I was playing with Z-Laner and Huskers, and I was crashing like every other game. It was ridiculous. So I'm gonna have to go through. I'm gonna see if I can find some things that make my settings more stable, and if I do find that, I'll release it to you. But they are pushing people to BNext COD PC, and they're giving out some specific, you know, instructions to help stability on PC. I think this is one of those things that's going to take longer to fix, and honestly, I'm okay with stability being addressed. At least here we're like addressing it, right? And I understand it's going to take longer to fix, but at least they're addressing it. But the things when it comes to gameplay balance, that these are literal, you know, overnight decisions that we can fix, like vaulting heavy choppers, or patching AI difficulties. This is stuff that we need constant feedback from, and it seems like we're finally getting. So I don't know if, you know, Raven Software can somehow be put back in charge, because Raven has always been, since Warzone 2's inception, been in charge of the communications. But it seems like either someone from Raven is back in charge, or someone from Infinity Ward has gotten the word from higher ups that like, hey, start making changes right now. Something's happening internally, because we're seeing more communication than ever. We're seeing more changes than ever. We're seeing more transparency than ever. And it's making me very optimistic about the state of the game. And the hero of Caldera, if you guys remember, Caldera was in its worst state ever. And then they transitioned one guy into kind of like the lead creative role, and it changed everything. Ted Timmins, okay? You guys should know that name. I have no idea what he's doing internally within Raven Software or Warzone. All I know is that after the last Warzone 2 update, he was supposed to pivot. He sent out, you know, some tweet that he would be like taking on different roles. Not really sure what he was doing, but it seems like, you know, he might be back. He sent out a little cryptic tweet that he then deleted of him smiling with the cowboy hat, talking about the recent changes today. And I don't know if they brought him back on. I don't know if we're going to see more from this guy. All I know is anytime he is involved, I may not agree with every change that he makes, but we have transparency. He listens to the community, and it's constant updates. If you remember, whenever we had the update to the TTK, like they had a community poll that's either 100, like it was either 100 base HP or it was 150 base HP, and they decided, hey, whatever the community decides, we will keep. And then they gave us 150 base HP, and Caldera played a lot better, mainly because the map was so open and had no cover, so having more HP was better. But that's what the community voted on, and so that's what we kept. But then they decided with Warzone 2 that we're just going to delete that and, you know, say F you to the community. But on to some other bug fixes. I think Ted Timmins is back. I think he's back, okay? I literally know nothing, but I hope he's back because he was my favorite. All right, so let's talk about some more bug fixes that happened within game. So they fixed an issue for Special Ops Veterans Raid playlist. Don't really care about that. Fixed an issue that caused weapon loadouts to be reset if you had a gold camo. If you had a gold camo, for some reason, you could not pick out your loadout in game and your classes kept resetting. They fixed an issue with scrolling the social menu. They fixed an exploit with players being able to save their weapons set up through the showcase, like save and create a class. They fixed some UI stuff. They fixed an issue with the SAE kill streak. If you follow the multiplayer scene, you know that's a really big deal. Fixed a bug that kicked the free trial players. Can't help out the free trial guys. Come on now. Fixed an issue where custom weapon blueprints for an unlocked weapon that were created in a private match lobby could be used in public matches. Basically, you have to unlock it in-game, not just custom games. And then fixed an issue causing weapon mastery camos to appear with no progress. So if you were having struggles to see what your weapon progress was, they fixed that as well. They also got a free Code Bowl calling card. If you guys didn't know, your boy placed first in the Code Bowl. You know, we had the highest scoring squad. Unfortunately, you had to combine the score of 2 squads for the final squad. So I was representing Team Air Force, and our individual squad placed first. But because we had to average out with the second Air Force squad, and they were fighting like disconnects and lags, our sum wasn't as much as the sum as other teams. But gosh dang it, I'll take it. Hey, first ever custom in Warzone 2, and your boy placed in the first squad. You know, so that was a good feeling. We got some more updates. These were definitely the more recent stuff. Okay, so buy stations, they reduced from 2,500 to 5,000. We talked about that. They fixed an issue that caused the Champions Quest negative effects to remain on screen after dropping them. That's for those of you that have been doing the nuke challenges. They fixed a issue with DMZ of unequipping an insured weapon if their contraband inventory was full. I don't play DMZ, couldn't really tell you about that. They also, once again, we talked about the circle from the split circle is down from 33% to 15%. The heavy chopper is disabled. They doubled the amount of buy stations. The loadout drop now happens in the second instead of the third. They fixed the issue where you would lose cash if you got a loadout, and they fixed an issue where the AI combatant difficulty was higher. This also happened in Battle Royale, not just in DMZ as well. And then there's more updates recently. And you guys can kind of take a look at them here. Just a lot of issues with bugs. I'm trying to see if there's anything too notable. You can pause on screen and take a read through these, but it doesn't really look like there's anything too catastrophically different. But what I will say is, for the first time in a long time, I am very optimistic. I don't know if pressure has been applied or roles have been changed. I can't tell you about what's happening internally. The fact that Ted Timmins sent out that tweet, but then he deleted it, makes me wonder, you know, if I don't know what's happening, okay? All I know is I like the direction we're heading, okay? We got a lot of cool videos coming up about things in the future. I'm going to try to find some stability settings for PC that's preventing me from crashing, and I'll let you know if I find that out. What I have 100% found out is some new audio settings and also some new audio hardware that is not these extremely expensive headsets that I'm wearing. I actually haven't been using these, and I broke my personal record. I dropped 34 kills in solo. That's like the number 3 for the world record. Got some new audio settings that are legitimately working, that are not expensive to change to, not sponsored in any way whatsoever either. I'm going to be sharing that with you more than likely tomorrow or the next day because it has made a noticeable difference in my game. So if you guys enjoy this, if you enjoy the direction that Call of Duty is heading, make sure to drop a like on this video. Okay, subscribe for even more because we got a lot of special stuff coming. We just crushed through 520,000 subscribers, which is unbelievable. And then let me know, comments down below. Okay, because I don't want to be just a gun channel guide. You know, I'm not that guy. Okay, I like making videos about guns, especially when I have like all the tunings and stuff put together and it's just like the perfect gun. Like this AK-47 build I've got in the background is just, I love that gun. But I also want to continue to make special tips and tricks videos like you guys have seen in the past. If there's an issue that you're struggling with, like audio, and you want me to try to solve it, let me know down in the comments as well. What type of videos are you guys want to see that you don't see on YouTube? Let me know so I can start making that content for you guys. I really appreciate all the support lately. Once again, make sure to check out the Scuf controllers. Today is the last day to get 10% off. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are excited for Warzone 2's future like I am, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace.